As a man, you must understand at a very deep level that in some way, shape, or form you are going to need to sacrifice your current level of being, almost give it up, right? To recreate yourself into something different in order to manifest true attraction with women that before was never even possible. You see, this one video alone will help you change everything. In the book of Proverbs 6:25, it says, "Do not lust in your heart after her beauty, or let her captivate you with her eyes." Majority of men out there truly believe in their heart of hearts that if they were pre-selected, if they were just a little bit taller, if they were just a little bit richer, if they had more materialistic high-value success, that would be the turnkey moment in their dating life that would actually unlock a new level of attraction, and this could not be further from the truth. The moment you want her, the moment you go weak for her, the moment you go weak for her beauty, and you crave that intimacy with her body, is the exact second that she pulls away and she does not want you. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you game at the highest level in a way that you have never even seen before. Okay, I don't really care how this sounds because the truth is that I break these topics down better than anybody. So here's what you have to understand. Women will always crush and despise the men who fall in love with her beauty, and this right here is the emasculation of modern men. This is why I've made my own movement, my own community. This is why I'm bringing men together to actually understand these truths at a deeper level. So here's what we have to do. Why did I start with the verse of Proverbs 6:25, "Do not lust in your heart after her beauty, or let her captivate you with her eyes"? This is the problem right here with modern men, and this is what's ruining your attraction with women. So here's what you have to understand first and foremost. Her entire goal, okay? Her whole goal is to see if she can get you to lust and desire her to leave you emasculated. So all of you guys out there who want to talk about pre-selected and being tall and being good looking, okay, you have to understand, it does not matter who you are, the same rules apply. If she can do this to you, she will exit. So if she is trying to see if you will lust and desire her, now what's going to happen is she leaves you in an emasculated state and she has reason to pull away because you are lacking internal high value. You maybe, and you probably do possess external high value, but later on we're going to be getting into even deeper levels of internal high value. So here's what you have to understand. The only way to signal attraction is by having a discrepancy in sexual market value. Like, this is female attraction towards a man in a nutshell. I don't care what anybody else tells you, this is attraction. A discrepancy in sexual market value. She is looking up to you, respecting you, okay, and she feels as if you have higher sexual market value. So, female attraction in a nutshell is boiled down to a discrepancy in SMV. That's it. AKA, she feels that your SMV is higher than hers, therefore hypergamy is now satisfied. That is female attraction, satisfying hypergamy by signaling a discrepancy in sexual market value. So that is female attraction in a nutshell. I don't care how else you want to talk about it. I don't care what anybody else tells you. This is how the female lens of attraction oftentimes works. So external high value. You will see how this relates to this verse in just a bit. External high value can only signal a superficial level of masculinity at face value. So what you're going to hear regarding most dating content creators or anybody else is everybody focuses on the big three. They say looks. Okay, well, if you're not tall, or if you are tall, or whatever, make sure you get into single-digit body fat, upgrade your fashion, upgrade your cologne, make sure you have good self-care. Okay, cool. They also talk about money. Make sure you have resources, make sure you have protection, make sure you have provisioning. They talk about status, right? Becoming a man of value and somebody who's known, so that way you can be pre-selected by other women. Here's what you can identify though, or here's what you're going to start to see with this. Materialistic high value can only get you so far. This can only get your foot in the door at face value because there's a big issue. The issue with what content creators call the sexual alpha, or the guy who's the pre-selected guy. I don't care if he is 6'5", or he has a yacht, or he has 1 million followers. If he starts to lust her, he has strong lust towards her. He lusts her, he opens up his emotions to falling in love. He opens up his entire emotional state to potentially falling in love and going weak for her. So then, here's what you have to know. Even if you are this guy who's pre-selected, she leaves his ass too when he starts to make these mistakes and he goes weak for the feminine. It does not matter who you are. The same rules apply. So he went weak for her body. He went weak for her beauty. He went weak for who she is. He did not have enough discipline and self-control to stay in his masculine state. He's going to be punished by having her exit and pull away. And then he's going to be wondering why he's not good enough. And here's the biggest truth with all of this. When he sits there and wonders why he's not good enough, he goes back and he just keeps trying to fix these things even more. He keeps trying to look better, make more money, get higher levels of status. But this is the problem. It is all external high value. These are superficial, materialistic, status-driven metrics that you can only measure on paper. Women fall in love with the man from the inside out, which brings me to my next point over here. We have to have a pivotal shift, a big pivoting shift. The pivoting shift for modern men is this. You wanting to have sex with her is validation in and of itself. Majority of men, you think that you are having the leverage in the dating game if she is expressing romantic interest into you, and you see that she has high sexual desire for you. You think that you are doing good, and this means that there's good organic chemistry, okay? But here's what you forget to understand. You wanting to have sex with her in the first place is validation towards her. You are slowly going weak for her. You are slowly fantasizing over the potential romance you guys could have, and she can feel that you are slowly getting into an emasculated state. So here's what happens. It shows you as a man are sold on these three things. It shows that you are sold on beauty alone. It shows that your shallow level pleasures are still controlling you. And it shows that you're sold on looks, or you're sold on how she looks. Now, how do I know that? Because this was me. This was me for a lot of years. Because I grew up the same ways you grew up. I believed a lot of the same things you believed. I made all of the mistakes you've already made. And I've dedicated my whole life to figuring this out for like the past 10 years. Okay? This was me. So this is the whole problem today, okay? Is most men lust, okay? And you want that romance, you want that intimacy, or you desire to have that companion in your life so much that you don't even value yourself. You're giving away all of your attention, all of your validation. And then on top of that, what happens is men don't even see, or men don't even notice that you wanting to have sex with her is validation in the first place. So this is where the pivoting shift has to happen. We have to shift, okay? We have to get rid of these thoughts of continuing these traits of increased looks, increased money, and increased status, and we have to shift to what I call internal high value, okay? And this is where God knows best. This is why this was already written, but nobody tells it. This is where it was already written, but nobody wants to talk about it. This is where it was already written, but you refuse to listen. Okay, if you listen, you're going to understand that every form of game, every sort of dating content, every sort of masculinity positioning in order to have leverage and higher levels of attraction is some form of what was already written. So, internal high value is the only thing that keeps them around. That's it. If you want to have a relationship with a woman, or if you want to make sure that she's consistently investing in you and closed for business and not entertaining other men, here's what you have to understand. Internal high value is the only thing that keeps them around. That means having a standard, okay? You have to have a standard for the level of woman beyond beauty that you are going to allow in your life, okay? Not even wanting to see her, for example, or needing to see her, or needing intimacy, needing romance in your life, not even wanting to see her, for an example, is a level of internal high value. You are self-sufficient as a man in the first place. You are completely content and okay with yourself in the first place. This is what women start to look for. What that right there has transitioned to is to video topics where other content creators or people go, ignore her, and she'll start to want you. Be mysterious, and she'll start to want you. No, the fact is you have such a deep relationship with God and your God-given purpose that you do not even necessarily need that level of companionship because you are complete as is. This goes way deeper than most even want to realize. So internal high value is the only thing that keeps them around. That means having a standard. That means making sure she brings something to the table other than her beauty. That means qualifying her beyond beauty, making sure that she has traits and characteristics that you're actually looking for in a person. So setting a standard for the attitude that will be tolerated. All of this is so important. And then the biggest thing with this is she needs to actually see that if she does not necessarily meet those qualifications or those standards that you have, that she doesn't hear from you anymore. And now all of a sudden you're the man who's positioned at the highest value, even more than the millionaire, even more than the guy with the money, even more than the guy with the private jet. because you have the internal masculinity, high value characteristics that women respond to. There is no way around this. You cannot out earn your way through this. You cannot out muscle your way through this in the gym by getting more ripped. You cannot grow to being 8 feet tall and now you're the dude who can outdo this. This is how it is for everybody. So those of you where you think you have the victim mentality, where you were dealt a bad hand, and because you're not a professional athlete who's 7 feet tall, that you're 100% destined to fail in your dating life, that could not be further from the truth. You need to understand that the rules apply to every single man, period. Okay? So, qualifying her beyond beauty, setting a standard for the attitude tolerated. That means if the girl you're wanting to hang out with or go out on a date with is the same girl that's posting scandalous photos, okay, what does that say about you as a man? These are the same men where you expect her to respect you, but she sees what she has to do to get her foot in the door, which is not very much when it comes to meeting your qualification standards, because most men don't have any beyond beauty. This is the entire problem. You understand this? So, taking this a step further, if you desire her, if you desire her body, her beauty, or sex with her, you have already lost. And I don't care how beautiful she is, because here's what you have to understand. If you're wanting those things with her, at that point right there, she has something that you want, which means she has the leverage. You are becoming weak and submissive into her frame. She has the leverage. So now you're trying to lay your cards the correct way to obtain that, when that is the whole reason that she doesn't want you in the first place, because you have went weak for her. So she can now no longer look up to you or respect you, and you've lost, and guess what? She feels your weakness. So how do I know this? Because I have already made all of these mistakes, which is why I teach you all of these lessons on my marker board almost every single day. So to make this even easier for you at face value to understand, any woman in your entire life that you have ever slept with, you had to engage in the process of seduction. And because of that, because she could feel that you are easily seduced, because she could feel that that was what you were doing in that dating interaction, she loses respect for you. So I don't care if you're pre-selected or not. Oftentimes you as the man are the problem, because what happens is this. If you're willing to engage in those things, you have to be willing to accept the repercussions for it after. And until this piece is fixed, until you as a man start to understand the difference between internal and external high value, and you actually read this for what it is, do not lust in your heart after her beauty or let her captivate you with her eyes. Until you actually fix the root problem of all of this, your dating life will not get any better.